gentlemen, and welcome to Ask Uncle Buck. I'm your host, Uncle Buck. You got big buck questions. I got big buck answers. So, this week's question comes again from Brad Chaco, since he gave me some great questions all at once. And I like this one. He asked me what I would do if I were to win the lottery. Would I keep my job or would I take a dump on the desks of my coworkers? Yes, to both. But the two are not mutually exclusive. In fact, nothing is stopping me from taking a dump on anyone's desk right now other than the potential consequences. As long as you're willing to live with those, you can get away with all sorts of crazy things. But in all seriousness, though, what would I do if I were to win the lottery? It would depend on which lottery you're talking about. The payout. There are some that are, I don't know, several $1,000s. There are some that are $200 or $300 million, like the Powerball. Gosh, what would I do with $200 or $300 million? I would pay a lot of taxes. A lot of taxes. So, I mean, it's once you get above a certain amount of money, it's ridiculous to talk about amounts at that point. So I'm going to go with, let's say I bring home $50 million. Like, you could say I won $300 million, and then that means nothing different to me than if I won just several million. Like I said, beyond a couple of $1 million, it makes no difference. It's more money than you can realistically spend without, like, changing up your lifestyle entirely. And I kind of like my lifestyle. I kind of like the way I live. I'm not a highfalutin kind of guy. I like living out in the country, and so let's just settle on like $50 million. Let's say I won $50 million. Bring home after, because you got to decide whether you're going to do the lump sum or whether you're going to do the payouts. I would say do the lump sum because you never know how long you're going to live. I could live to be 130. I could die tomorrow. So, especially where I work. So, I would take the lump sum. Now, the first thing I would do is keep my mouth shut. I would tell my wife. Maybe I would tell my wife. I'd keep my job. I'll come back to that in a second. I'd keep working. And I would, like, the people around, like, you know, the minute you announce that you've got a bunch of money, everyone's going to come after you looking for a handout. Hey, Uncle Buck, I heard you got plenty of money hanging around. Why not just toss me $5,000 to pay off my car, to help out with this student loan? Why don't you pay off the rest of my house? I got these medical bills. I would take care of my bills. I got a few, not crazy debt, but I've got a couple bills. I would set aside some for a house for me and the wife and the kids, something a little nicer than what we're in now. Nothing extravagant. I don't need a castle, or do I? That's a good question. We'll file that one away for later. People that I thought needed money, all the charity around me, those people would get anonymous donations. Because I don't see any point in walking up to someone who's in dire straits saying, hey, I know you're hurting for money. Here's all the money you need from me. Look at my face. Recognize that I did this for you. Like, you have to stop and worship me now and feel awkward every time I'm around you because I went out of my way to do this big thing for you. See, that bothers me. The whole looking for that kind of greatness thing. And I'm a narcissist. But for me, so you understand, like, I think that and just insisting that someone have to recognize that you did this for them, you personally did this for them, that's, you know, there's no reward in that. There's no personal satisfaction. So, I would just give anonymous donations to everyone who I thought needed them. Also, if it's anonymous, then no one else can get wind of it and come looking for the rest of your money. You see what I'm saying there? So, if you're giving charity and putting your name on it, it's virtue signaling. It really is. Charity is virtue signaling. So, I would, you're probably talking $5 million of charity stuff and bills and taking care of family and that kind of thing. And that's a high end. I mean, to spend $1 million on that kind of thing, wow, that's still a lot of money. But I'll say $5 million, just I'll even say 10. We'll just throw money into the atmosphere like Brewster's Millions. We're just going to start throwing money away. $10 million I'm going to spend looking after myself, my family, and some people that I think need help. I'm going to build my house. I'm going to build my little studio or something in the backyard, my little retreat. I'm going to buy up the family land that used to belong to my family and that got sold off as the family got divided up among the cousins when my great-grandfather died. I'd buy all that land back up. I'd kick off all the people and tear down all the things that were built on family land. I would gentrify the hell out of it. All you people that built houses on this land that formerly belonged to my family and belongs to me now, you're gone. Tear down your house, burn it, it's gone. I want empty fields all the way around my house. That's what I want. Okay. I would invest the remainder. I got sinuses going on right now. Allergies. I would invest the rest in surgery to have my sinuses completely removed from my head. No, I wouldn't do that. I would consider it. I'd probably end up having more kids. But I would take the remainder, we'll say $40 million, and I would put it into investments. And I'm not talking gambling investments. I'm not talking about get-rich-quick schemes. I'm already rich. Why would I do that? I want to protect this money, and I want to make the money work for me. You see, you don't just take the money and bury it in a hole. You have to make that money do something for you. So I would make that money earn more money. And I would treat that as the principal, like your nest egg, and I would let that draw interest from these investments. I'd be a diverse portfolio. I'd hire people who know what they're talking about. Long-term stuff that'll keep you going for years and years and years to come, because I want to set up my kids and my family too. And then I would live off the interest. I would reinvest some of the interest as well to grow my nest egg. And I would live out the rest of my days. I was going to say I would keep my day job, but you know what? I don't think I could do that. Because I know me and I know the way humanity works. And one of the weird things about us human beings is once we know we have a safety net, the temptation to jump becomes a lot greater. So how would I handle coming back to work? I'd do it for a while. I'd do it for a good while. As long as I could tolerate it. And then when I couldn't take other people anymore, I would walk in with 50 grand in my pocket. And I'd walk up to everyone who's ever ticked me off there, and I'd be like, here's 5 grand. But I get to slap you. Like 5 times. Here's 5 grand. I'm quitting, and here's 5 grand, but if you want this 5 grand, I get to slap you right in the face like 5 times. I wonder who would bite. But I would definitely do that. Because people want money. And 5 slaps in the face would be an affront to their pride or their honor or their whatever. But that's also 5 grand they didn't have. And if you can, unless you're just a wuss or you just take yourself that seriously, which I definitely don't, 5 grand, I'll let somebody slap me for $1,000. I don't care. Slap me 5 times. Please slap me a couple more times if there's gonna be $1,000 a pop. You slap me all day. Just keep going. Just look, man. You're gonna hurt these jowls. You're gonna hurt that. You're crazy. So, yeah, I just go and say, all right, here's 5 grand, but I get to slap the shit out of you. That's what I'd do. And then I'd probably never work again, except for the things that I enjoy doing. I do the things I love. I'd go fishing, and I'd do podcasts, and I'd play music until those things got boring. And then I'd be a miserable schmuck. Kind of like I am now. So, I guess the money wouldn't change anything. I'd just be a slightly more comfortable miserable schmuck. What are you going to do? Alright, well, this has been Ask Uncle Buck. I've been your host, Uncle Buck. You had a big buck question. I gave you a big buck answer. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.